Tailing loops, creep, problems with your forward cast, all these common problems we have with fly casting, I'm going to run through them now. If you find yourself getting knots in your leader or your fly line's sort of collapsing in the air and it's sort of hitting the rod on the way through, it's probably what's called a tailing loop. Now a tailing loop is a really common issue with fly casting. I'm going to show you why. Now what tends to happen with our fly cast, the tip of the rod has to go on a straight line path. So that tip of the rod is traveling in a straight line path to make a nice tight loop. If we arc our tip like that, we get nice open loops. Now that's more to do with loop shape, but it's a good one to keep in mind as well. Now with our nice tight loops, that straight tip path is really important. And you can see those loops going back and forth, nice tight loops, aerodynamic loops. If you overpower your forward cast, what can happen is you throw a tailing loop and it looks like this. You can see that the fly leg of the loop kick under the fly. You can even see the knot getting tied in the air. I'll show you again. Depends on what fly line you're using as well, but the main cause of that is if you overpower that forward cast. Once we've gone back to our back cast here and we're ready to deliver our forward cast, it should be a smooth acceleration to a firm stop. What happens is if we don't accelerate to a firm stop and we put all the power here at the front, like that, that's when we get that knot tying. The fix to it is from our back cast, a smooth acceleration to a firm pop forward. And I lead with the butt of the rod before rotating forward. So I'm leading with the butt before rotating forward and a smooth acceleration of power. You won't have any more tailing loops. Bottom line is, don't snap your wrist too hard on the forward cast, no more tailing loops. Another really common issue is our line not turning over and landing in a straight line in front of us. Now there's two different causes for this. One is a loop that climbs really high in the air and flutters back down onto the water, and the second is nose diving that loop down onto the water too aggressively. Both are issues and we'll fix them now. Like the tailing loop, if I overpower that forward cast, like that, the loop climbs and falls back down. The fix for that, similar to a tailing loop, is just a smooth delivery of power. Stop the rod at about the horizon, the rod tip at the horizon. Once you've stopped the rod and the fly's turning over, follow the rod down to the water and you'll get a nice straight cast. The second reason that line's not turning over is if that line is crashing down onto the water and the loop's going down onto the water like that. Also lands in a pile. Now, one of the main causes of that is a really common casting fault. It's called creep. Now, creep happens at the early stage of your forward cast. So when we go for our back cast, there's a period of time where that rod has to be dead still. What tends to happen is you'll stop the rod and then you'll gently creep your hand forward and then have to throw the power there at the front. So we go back, gently creep forward, and then we throw it. It lands in a big pile and it nosedives that fly line onto the water. Pop, creep, then throw. Doesn't land as straight. The fix for that, make sure you're looking and seeing if you're creeping forward. So stop, go, versus stop, creep, throw, stop, creep, throw. So there you go, guys. There's a few quick tips to fix your forward cast. Now again, tailing loops, stop throwing that rod too hard at the end and tying that knot in the air. Will stop your wind knots as well. Climbing that loop too high in the air by again throwing that rod too hard and it flutters down and lands in a big wiggle on the water. And finally, creep, where we nudge our forward cast too early and again it collapses down onto the water. If you've got any questions, let us know in the comments and I'll be happy to help.